Hello, welcome to Math Companion. Now, we have a very interesting question here that very easy and do not require a lot of overthinking. Before we solve, please subscribe. All right. Now, what we need to do here for this quadrilateral is to first figure out how we can split it into two equal triangles. So the only way we can do it is that way. Now, what we notice is that the two triangles are isosceles triangles because this one forms the radius, which is equally the same as that one, and it's also the same as this. Now, I'm going to consider one triangle, and from there, actually, that is the only way we are going to work out the radius. So, let's say the radius is r, and this is r, that is r2. Now, if I draw a perpendicular line all the way up that way, let me show it in red. If we do a perpendicular line from O to this point, now it's going to split the isosceles triangle into two. Therefore, this here is 5 and this one is 5. Now, I'm going to extract this, one part of the triangle, of the isosceles triangle. So therefore, it's something that looks like that, whereby this is R, this is O, this is C, and this is M. So assuming that this is the midpoint, so that's M. And therefore, this makes 90 degrees. Over here, it is 90 degrees. Now, we know MC, this part here, so we are dealing with this triangle that I extracted. MC is 5 centimeters because we split the isosceles triangle into half. So this is 5 centimeters. And then we know the radius in this case now, it is acting as the hypotenuse because splitting the isosceles triangle into a half, it's going to form two right-angled triangles. Now, what we know is that one of the isosceles triangle it makes a half of the quadrilateral if the area of the quadrilateral is 120 centimeter square. Therefore, splitting the quadrilateral into two isosceles triangle, so the triangles, each triangle will be 60 centimeters. And then further, what we need to do, actually all that we need to do at this point, therefore, is just to find the length OM. Okay, so the length OM is the shorter side, which is, let's say, maybe we can call it X, is simply calculated as the hypotenuse squared, R squared, minus one of the shorter side, which probably at this point we can call it adjacent squared, 5 squared. Then you look for the square root. This is by using Pythagoras theorem. As you know, Pythagoras theorem is given as a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. If you are if you are trying to look for the shorter side, it's going to be c squared minus one of the shorter side, a squared, probably it should be equal to b squared, and so on. Okay, so that is the same concept that we have used here. Therefore, one of the shorter side, this height, it is r squared minus 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. You look for the square root. So therefore we can say OM, it is actually r squared minus 25. So therefore we are going to start now working out the area of the triangle, one isosceles triangle. We know the area is 60 centimeters squared. So therefore the area, which is 60, it is going to be 1 over 2 times the base. The base is 10 times the height. Now the height is the square root of the radius squared minus 5 squared, which is 25. Okay. Now next, 60, we actually in this case a half times 10, so 60 will be equals to 5 times the square root of r squared minus 25. Now next step, we divide by 5 on both sides, which is actually going to be equal to 60 divided by 5 is 12, which is equals to the square root of r squared minus 25. We square both sides to get rid of the square root, which is going to be 144 is equals to r squared minus 25. Now moving 25 to this other side, it's going to be 144 plus 25 is equals to r squared. So this is 144 plus 25 is 169 is equals to r squared. So we look for the square root on both sides. Look for the square root over here, look for the square root. So r, which is the radius, is going to be the square root of 169, which is equals to 13. Okay, so the square root of 169 is 13, and r in this case is the radius. Therefore the radius for this circle is actually equal to 13. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and so that you get notified, and keep on following very interesting math questions. All right, bye bye, have a great time.